Hello, me again. This is How to Murder Feet, Southwest Coast Park Extravaganza, week 4 of 8, day 5 of 5. It's Thursday, 16th of May, 7:30 in the morning. I'm already up and on the move. Didn't sleep very well last night. I just don't intend, generally. Small yappy dog on the campsite got bored before I did, so I win. And now we're on a road on our way back from the campsite to the sea. So yes, today's the last day. Thanks to my rather aggressive pushing. 14 miles a day, it's only 13 miles today, plus the inevitable like 5 miles of buggering about at the far end while I try and find some campsite or something. Lizard Point is right on the end of the rocky bit, and there's like a 1 or 2 mile bit of road up into the village. I think there's a campsite, and I've been great at that so far. So yes, it's an overcast day. Sun not really in appearance, but the wind's going to be broadly similar, so it could be a bit colder. I'll just have to keep walking, keep moving. Yeah. So going up onto the Lizard, which is like, you know, Lagoon Hilly Peninsula, there's going to be more cliffside stuff, I think, much like we've seen in the earlier parts of the week. So probably harder going today than a lot of yesterday. But that's okay, because I can stop after that. Good. So, I'm going to go and find some coffee and breakfast, and then I'm going to hit the trail. See you please later. Blimey, I walked past those yesterday on the way to the shop, and they weren't like that then. And last night you could still smell the ash. Good, so managed to survive the night without being burned to death as well. Lovely place, this. So that's today. I think that's Lizard Point. Or Lizard Point's not very far around there afterwards. Halfway to Mullion Cove for lunch. And yeah, a fair bit of cliff tops, but doesn't look too bad. Oop. Assuming I can find the path again, of course. Yeah, a bit achy, didn't sleep too well. And no sun, so it's cooler today. Wind's keeping going, whatever. So, might have to stick the anorak on a bit. So there we go. If I keep moving, I'll soon warm up. There we go. Look. My keen senses detect this way. Always a good sign. Yeah. Low calm seas, mournful, misty. There's your Boca Vanguard still out there. Must have to be waiting for a job or something, waiting for somebody to come and get picked up, or maybe it's just on holiday. Maybe it likes to come to Penzance Bay to paddle. Right. Charming little seaside town, which has its downsides, as I found. Anyway, let's go, let's get some miles done. First bench of the day. In loving memory of blah 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 blah. Don't want to be reminded of mortality, thank you. Yeah, so it's a bit of a dilemma. So I'm still getting hot and I'm still getting tired, and I still have to sit down every so often, but because now it's colder and the wind's still quite raw, I can't sit about for too long. I get hyper what's-its. So I need to just sit long enough to get my breath back, let the feet rest a little, and then up and at him again. I'm at the top anyway, this particular bit, so that's good. Penrose Head or something, don't know. Penrose. Yeah. Yeah. It's good. Look at that thing. Oh, wrong one. Screw you, buoyancy, and your petty laws of nature. We are human beings. We build enormous things for the hell of it. Engineering. That's what takes us to the stars. That's what makes us better than chickens and yappy dogs. I see a yappy dog build that. apparently, reading further, apparently it can carry 110,000 tonnes of cargo, largely in the form of like an oil rig or something. And while doing so, can travel at about 15 miles an hour. I don't know what that is in knots, it did say, but I've never understood what a knot is. Nautical mile? Why is that different to a mile? Shouldn't we all be using kilometres anyway? Yeah, just sat there, doing this thing. Time is money with that. That thing costs, yeah, like I said, that thing costs $240 million to build. So, you know, I mean, you could charge by the second, you know. So just sitting out there waiting, doing nothing, is costing a considerable amount of money, especially considering, I imagine, that $240 million is in the form of some sort of massive capital investment loan that needs to be repaid. So every day it's sat there doing nothing, and it's been sat there doing nothing, by my reckoning, for I've seen at least 3 days worth. It must be costing it lots and lots of money. Still, know what it's doing, that's all. Unless it's just adrift, unless everyone on board is dead from some sort of weird supernatural visitation or plague or something. Ooh, I wonder what salvages rights is like. If I can get out to it. Oh, is that international water? I don't think that's international waters. 12 miles offshore, apparently, international waters. And you could see 12 miles away. I mean, 12 miles, Penzance is 12 miles away. I can't see 12 miles away in this weather, but it might be in international waters, I don't know. Anyway, I just don't think I've got the resources to be able to stake a claim on it, to be honest. Turn it into one of these international waters, offshore micronations or whatever. Yeah. Still, I mean, that compared to St Michael's Mount, that definitely wins in terms of World War Z and Triffid repelling potential. Oh, kind of quite glad it's the last day, actually. I enjoy this stuff, of course. And it doesn't have to be blazing glorious paradise sunshine for me to enjoy myself either. All I ask is it doesn't actually rain, and apparently there's only a less than 10% chance of that today, so that's good. The sun might poke through a bit later on as well. And it keeps the burning sky god off my skin, which is nice. Still starting to bronze a little bit there, that's quite unusual. I might look healthy. I've got these weird piggy eyes, you see, and the whites of my eyes are quite similar tone to my untanned skin, so it looks like I've just got dots for eyes a lot of the time. But when my face bronzes up a little, from like a week doing this, I start to look a bit more like a normal human being, which is nice. Not that I'm particularly given to vanity, but you know, it's good to get some, you know, when people go ask you, oh, do you think nice in your holidays? You can just sit there and bask, you know, you can radiate. Mind you, I do tend to get that sort of red raw wind burn look rather than that carefully maintained and topped up booth tan, so I don't know which is more healthy, really. It's all bad for you, really. It's all skin cancers, melanomas and whatnot. I mean, I probably should be sun blocking today, even though the cloud's diffusing it all. I think I'll probably be alright for one more day. Anyway, oh god, there's a keen looking jogger coming down the path. I don't mind being overtaken by joggers. They're at it, they're doing a different thing. It's people similarly loading down to me that I worry about. Hike cred. Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to go around that headland in a minute. It's going to pick up with the wind, and I'm going to get quite chilly if I sit here much longer. So, chop chop. I read about this. So this is Loe Bar, L-O-E Bar, and apparently this used to be open to the sea. You see the lakes on the side there. This was just a big old inlet until one massive storm on October 2009, 2011, something like that. I don't know the precise day, but basically over the course of about 2 or 3 days, this got entirely filled in with sand from the sea. Just completely lifted up and dumped in here, and it blocked the entire bay off. So there's now two lakes there, which is good for me. My path goes straight across the middle of it, and up the other side. Cuts about 2 miles off my journey today, so that's good. Looks like they're doing some works to try and put some kind of permanent connecting channel or water flow through it. Stop it overflowing or whatever, flooding. I don't know if that's fed by rivers or anything, but it's certainly isolated from the sea now, quite convincingly. Power of nature and all that. Yeah, astonishing. Yeah. Right, I'm going to shimmy on down and then trudge across the sand and out the other side. Onward. So horse enjoying a bit of exercise on the far side. Yeah. Astonishing. Oh, you want hardship? I got hardship. Bloody hell, this is hard going. It's very sort of loose, powdery, gritty stuff. It's completely dry. So it's just sort of like slide, it's like just slogging through a sandpit. That wind's quite insistent as well. Still, you don't have to experience any of that. Sat here watching this on your YouTubes. Well done you. I congratulate your life choices. Me, I'm going to try and get across to the other side of here before I just keel over, die in a snowdrift, sand drift, whatever. The endless expanse. We're seeing mirages of Cornish cliffs next. Wow, let's not do that again. I mentioned I hate beaches. Yeah, memorial there. Don't even have the energy to go and look and see what it's about. So you can Google it. Yeah, see, the lake goes quite far back in, the creek, inlet, whatever. Doing quite a detour. So, thanks nature. Up and over. The next place apparently is a place called Church Cove, which sounds just the most generic name for a coastline feature I've ever thought I've come across. About 2 miles away. Probably doesn't even have any things. It might be a church if I'm lucky. Can't eat a church. I can't drink a church. What use is that to me? Anyway, Mullion Cove and the village of Mullion itself. A bit further on, I expect. That's my lunchtime stop, so I don't know what the time is now, but oh look, Porthleven. Still see it. Reckon I've got about another hour or two before Mullion. So, keep on climbing. Another diversion. See a fair bit of that. I mean, I have to assume that the weight of one walker isn't going to cause that all to go, but it's more like heavy storms or a sharp frost or whatever. Otherwise I'd go mad. Yeah. But then look, the path's still there. It's, you know, this is like a preventative, preemptive measure rather than oh crap, it's disappeared in the night type thing. The bench still there. No, I'd take this kind of stuff very seriously. There's no time to be saved trying to jump over that fence, I tell you. So I guess this is Church Cove. I'll have to get the map out at some point. It looks a bit sheltered down there. I could probably have a quick cartographise. Doesn't look like the sort of place that has any facilities, but that's okay because, you know, I probably don't need any this early in the day. Sun's coming through a bit more now. It's warming up a little, which is good. I think that's, I approve. So, a bit of a scramble and then down to that little thing and then up the other side and along that cliff top there. And then we'll see what we'll see. We might be able to see Mullion from the top of there. Who knows? Only 9:30 and I'm already over halfway from Porthleven to Mullion. So yeah, early lunch for me, I think. Can't go very heavy. I had a pasty for breakfast. Flags. Have we got a flag? Look at there. It is, of course, the Union Jack, as everyone knows. It's the technically correct flag to be flying in this country. Don't let all these St George's or Conan flags dissuade you otherwise. Though, is it the right way up? I can never tell. So you notice it does have a right way up and a wrong way up. And the wrong way up is a very subtle and trolley way of spreading sedition and anarchy. So if you look at the left-hand side where the pole is, the bottom edge red stripe runs off the bottom, but the top edge red stripe on the top corner runs off the side. That's how you can tell which way up it is. I think I'm not quite sure what it means if you got it the other way, got it the wrong way up. It means I think you're about to declare yourself a free agent and pirate or something. Yeah. Of course, you got the St George's flag, which is the white one with the red cross, horizontal and vertical stripes. That's all a bit too nationalistic mayhem on the terraces for my liking, to be honest. It's a little bit prideful. But then I'm a filthy federalist, so you know, what do I know? Don't see the European Union flag much around here, except on construction projects. In fact, this week, occasional car sticker, blue banner with the gold circular stars on it. God, are they gonna have to take a star off when we leave? No, because there's not 27 stars on there, 28 stars on there as it is. Sometimes see the Cornish flag as well, the Conan flag. Conan being Cornish for Cornish, I think. Cornish for Cornwall. That's a black one with a white horizontal vertical stripes on. I think mostly flown for lols really, rather than any determined successionist sentiment, although I do believe there is a fair old independence movement in Cornwall. I think once Scotland are off, Cornwall will be agitating for next. It'll be their time. Them, along with Yorkshire, they'll be the first two of the Union to properly go after Scotland decides to leg it. Interesting times. Yeah, flags. Who needs flags? So, yeah, I'm very much of the we should be like Starfleet in the Federation type. Just, yes, you know, you start here, you go to a fully integrated European Union, then a world state like Starfleet, and then on to the culture, essentially. That's the way it should all be going. Still, I'm not in charge of anything, so don't ask me. Do with less tribes, I think. That's where all the problems come from. Right, up and Adam. I think we've got the Marconi Museum and Monument to come after my coffee break at Mullion. So I think I just need to get around this headland at the end here. And we shall see a whole new vista and more things. Things are great. Love it. That is a prog rock album cover name. I don't know if it's the name or is it the band? Hal Zephyr Cliff by Yes, or Musings on Space-Time by Hal Zephyr Cliff. I don't know. I bet they'll have a kick-ass album cover anyway. Somebody something by Rodney Matthews or Roger Dean. Chris Foss maybe. Hal Zephyr Cliff. Yeah. Yeah. Don't know, it's the light or the visibility's picking up a bit. You can see it a bit more clearly now. The white tops and the dark blue lower sections. There's like a main sort of conning bridge type thing offsetting on the front, a bit like an aircraft carrier, and then there's towers on each of the four corners, presumably some sort of huge powerful lifting structures. I don't know about the main deck at the bottom, because it said it's semi-submersible, so presumably some portion of it goes underneath the boat that it's trying to pick up and scoop. Maybe that's it, maybe it drops its main centre deck, drives around either side of the boat it's going to collect, and then just lifts the thing up. Christ, that must be an incredible amount of buoyancy on board though, if it can take 110 tonnes and still not sink. I wonder what it looks like underwater. Impressive. Anyway, here is another Cornish beach. Thought I saw mer people out there, which is unusual for this side. They're all on the north coast normally. Is that a mer person? We'll have to mega zoom again. 10 times zoom. It's either a mer person or an actual seal. I think it's a paddleboarder. Oh, I don't know, is that a seal? Can't tell. Is that arms or flippers? No, it's a bloke on a surfboard. Yeah. Some pretty. It's that weird wind again. Still kicking along. Unparalleled surfing opportunities on the south coast. Anyway, more importantly, yet another golf course. Down there, I think, is a cafe. I demand flapjack. I'm coming for you. I think it's this little church and graveyard were any more picturesque, it burst. Look at this. St. Winlow, the Church of the Storms. Ah, hail tempest, storm god, Thor. An imposing little chapel for a storm god. Yeah. Over there is a small coffee hatch from where you can still hear the lamentation of the flapjacks. Ah, they were not ready for me. Actually, no, I just had a coffee and a coffee and walnut brownie, so that was alright. And now we've got to go up there. And apparently, according to the local intel, because, you know, I'm that much of a seasoned traveller, the bloke in the coffee shop said the Marconi Museum is closed on a Thursday. Well, that's okay, because I'm not sure I was really planning on going in anywhere, but if there's a monument up there, I shall definitely document it for your own good benefit there, dear viewer. At the moment, I've got to try and cross that beach. And we all know how I love beaches. important thing to remember is the pointy end goes towards the yellow bit. Keep paddling, try not to fall off and die. Surf school there. Yeah. I mean, the fact that there is a surf school on this beach means they must do a lot of surfing on the south coast after all. I thought it was purely a north coast thing. I thought they didn't even get surf here. That looks pretty surf worthy though, look at it. I mean, you're never going to get huge surf here, I suppose. And particularly once you're around past the Lizard, it's going to be a lot more calmer, I think. But this is definitely still the Atlantic, I think, technically speaking. Don't know where the channel begins. I'll have to look it up. I imagine Lizard. Yeah, that might be the Marconi Museum up the top on the hill there. It's like more like a massive eccentric hotel to me, but there you go. Path goes up past it next, so I'm sure we'll find out. Oh, look, another cafe. I can't stop for another flapjack already. It's been like 10 minutes. This is excessive even for me. No, I'm just going to walk on by that cafe. There's nothing I need. That's the museum, and it's closed. That's okay. Just get hot indoors nowadays. Here's a plaque though. So the big building over there is a care home, quite a lavish one. Look at these masts. Don't know if they're the original kit or what. Big umbrella one there. There's some sort of monument over there which we're going to go and have a look at in a minute. There we go. Guglielmo Marconi proved to a sceptical world that long-distance communication through the air following the curvature of the Earth and without using wires or cables was possible and practical. The experiment involved risking at least £50,000 to achieve a result which had been declared impossible by some of the principal mathematicians of the time. There it is. Let's see. Travel by steamer to St John's. Where's St John's? Aerials on Signal Hill, kites and balloons. Oh, I see, he wasn't at this end, he was at the other end. Where is St John's? St John's in Newfoundland. 1,800 miles through a winter gale. Sent 3 Morse code dots. I mean, that's astonishing, frankly. And that was in what? 1901. November 1901. So that's about 118 years ago precisely. November. Yeah, so he wasn't here, he was at the other end with the balloon listening in for it all. But yeah, I don't know if it was these precise masts or something broadly similar. And that's astonishing really, because it's a really conceptually difficult thing. The idea that you can fire signals around the curvature of the Earth. For that to work, you've got to understand that certain types of radio wavelengths bounce off certain parts of the atmosphere on the underneath, and then bounce off the ground again, or the sea, and then bounce up into the atmosphere and back, and all the way around the Earth. I mean, 1,800 miles. BBC are doing that Earth from space sort of, you know, glossy documentary type thing at the moment. It's very good. And you can see from, like, you know, International Space Station tracking shots and stuff how pronounced the curvature of the Earth is at those kinds of distances, those kinds of scales. I mean, looking out there, that Boca Vanguard thing, that's probably about 10-12 miles away. I mean, visibility's not great today. Can't even see Mousehole from here, but you could yesterday. You could see the other side from here when I was coming across. Point being is that about 30 miles out is the edge of the horizon. So a straight line beam transmission will go that far and no further. But certain, I think, shortwave radio wavelengths bounce off parts of the ionosphere, I think. I don't quite know the physics of it, you can look that up. But basically, to be able to put that together into a practical, I don't know, we could use that to talk to people around the other side of the planet. My granddad, in his 50s, I think, when I was a nipper, he used to be one of these radio ham guys. He had something like that in his garden, probably not quite as big as I recall. And he had the little desk set with the headphones and the little speaker, and he'd talk to people in Shanghai and Singapore. Oh, yeah, just random people. It was like a kind of proto-Twitter of its age. And he was doing that 70 years before WhatsApp was even a thing. And, you know, I mean, they do it all with satellites nowadays, much more reliable. You can directly beam transmit at a satellite, which can relay on and back to a ground station and so on. So, but I mean, satellite technology is well in advance of this kind of thing. 1901, we were able to talk to people on the other side of the world. It's astonishing. I think these masts are cornerstones of the modern age, really. I mean, perhaps the internet age supersedes it, but certainly it's a significant part of us all being who we are and where we are today. Can't understate the importance of this place enough. Quite astonishing, and I'm quite privileged to have been here and seen it, actually, even though the museum's shut. Never mind, I probably wouldn't have gone in anyway. I've got to keep moving. So, there's not really much else beyond Mullion, which I think that's there, to listen. I've just got a whole load of about 3 or 4 hours of cliff top work to do, and then I think that's it. So yeah, I need to probably just have a sit and think, and reflect on this place. Maybe have a close-up look at some of the monuments. And then move on, I think. Oh, what have we got over here? This one's... Here's the thing. This looks like an anchoring point. This might have been an anchoring point for the original thing. Cables would have come out of these rusted off spots there. Probably to... Actually, I think that might be... Yeah, that obelisk there probably is the site of the actual original 1901 mast. I imagine, yeah, these things look a lot more recent, frankly. Right, let's go and wander over there. Here we go, more history. So 100 yards northeast of this column stood from 1900 to 1933 the famous Poldhu wireless station, designed by John Ambrose Fleming and erected by the Marconi Company of London, from which were transmitted the first signals ever conveyed across the Atlantic by wireless telegraphy. The signals consisted of a repetition of the Morse letter S and were received at St John's, Newfoundland by Guglielmo Marconi and his British associates on the 12th of the 12th, 1901. More around here. The Poldhu wireless station was used by the Marconi Company for the first transoceanic service of wireless telegraphy, which was opened with a second Marconi station at Glace Bay in Canada in 1902, when Poldhu station was erected in 1900. Wireless was in its infancy when it was demolished in 1933. Wireless was established for communication on land, at sea and in the air, for direct finding, broadcasting and television. Oh, more around here. To commemorate the pioneer work done by Guglielmo Marconi and his research experts and radio engineers at the Poldhu wireless station between 1900 and 1933, the Marconi Company presented this historic land to the National Trust. Some 6 acres of cliff land were given in 1937, and 44 acres behind the cliffs on which stood the station and the masts were given in 1960. From the Marconi Company's Poldhu station in 1923 and 1924, Charles Samuel Franklin, inventor of the Franklin beam aerial, directed his shortwave wireless beam transmission to Guglielmo Marconi on his yacht Electra, cruising in the South Atlantic. The epoch-making results of these experiments laid the foundation of the modern high-speed radio telegraphic communication and to and from all quarters of the globe. There you go. And my absolute favourite extra detail is, look, Batman ears. Brilliant. Right, I'm going to press on. Very windy up here. So that's Mullion Cove down there. Let's do a sweeping shot. Little tiny Cornish fishing harbour. And that's pretty much the last thing till the end. Beyond there is about 5 miles of unbroken cliff top upland and nature reserve and things, and then the Lizard. So I'm going to try and go down there and find a hot dinner of some sort before I stock up and prepare for the final push. It's been good so far. Some sort of dinner, that'd be good, yeah. Because there's probably nowhere else to get. I've got nuts and energy bars and all the rest of it, but nice to have a hot meal. I think halfway through. It's about 1 o'clock now, so it's about right. Oh, that wind's not stopping. Yeah, there we go. After quite an astonishing crab salad. I'm off again. Conan's Cove, which is a name that sounds familiar for some reason or another. which is 4¼ miles that way, and then I think Lizard's about another mile and a half beyond that. So there's pretty much nothing else between here and the end now, so it's a big push, about 5-6 miles of upland moor tops. There's people coming down there on the top. It's time for the last big push, what? Yeah, a bit of wilderness here, stepping stones through a quagmire. Trying to watch my balance, and the wind's starting to be a bit blowy you off the cliffy at this point. And now this heading, going more or less due south, coming round the end. So the wind still continuing and from the west, from the east, heading west, starting to be a bit, oh, you don't want to be on top of this cliff, do you? You want to be down in the sea. To which I'm strenuously objecting. And yeah, this is the Lizard Nature Reserve, I think. Which is pretty much unbroken moorland and stuff, more or less all the way down to Lizard. The Conan's Cove somewhere nestled within. So I'm just going to try and continue across these stepping stones. It's been a lovely week so far. Sun's coming out again, look. Hello Shadow Tim. Oh, nice camera you got there. Yeah. So I'm just moseying now. There's really no point pushing. I know I tend to anyway. I tend to be tend to have just a certain pace that I go at. But it doesn't matter when I get to Lizard, as long as it's before 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, which is when my bus is. I've already missed the last. I mean, yeah, theoretically, depending what time I get there today, I could get a bus to Penzance and get somewhere, hotel or something there again. But not really much point, because in order for me to get a train back to where I live from Penzance in any kind of reasonable arrival time, I'd need to be there before lunchtime, I suppose. So I don't know, might as well just camp out at Lizard. I've seen a campsite, it may exist. Yeah, so I could probably just take it quite easy today, especially since that crab salad was quite large, quite full up. Don't want to give myself a hernia like an hour out from the finish. Yeah, Lakeorn, still on the trail. Some proof there. Yeah. So yeah, just enjoying my afternoon really. It's going to be quite heavy going up and down cliff top stuff, I think, but it's only the last bit, so I don't mind. Leave me with some fond memories for the rest of the summer. Lovely. Go on, get in the sea, Tim. No wind, I don't want to get in the sea. Go on, get in the sea. I know a really quick way. No. Stop pushing me in the sea. Go on, you'll love it. It's all floaty. No, it's rocks. Lovely upland meadow sort of thing here. Pink, purple flowers everywhere. Buttercups. Yeah, and daisies. This might all still be nature reserve. It's lovely. Distant cliffs. And somewhere beyond the end, Lizard. We're off to see the Lizard, the wonderful Lizard of Oz. I wonder if it can give me a brain or a heart or some courage or any of those things, really. I suppose mostly what I want is a way home. Find a bus, click my heels together, etc. Oh god, I've been out here too long. Yeah, 5 days is just about right, to be honest. I think I could probably do with ending this trip and going home soon, before I completely lose it. There we go, kind of made it. I mean, you know, strictly speaking, this whole region's called the Lizard. So you've got Lizard Point, which is where I'm actually aiming at. There's the village of Lizard. And you've got the Lizard, which is the sort of larger region this whole area is on. Coming up on Conan's Cove, I think. Probably over that next ridgeline. It's good. Making good time, making good progress. Top of the world. Still on the High Chaparral. It's just a big old grassy plateau of nothing. And then there's the sea over there, just off the edge of that rock. See a windsock in the distance over there. Some airstrip, I think. I think that must be lizard. A bit more zoom, I think. Yeah, that's got to be it. There's nothing else out here. Emerald City. Journey's End. Because I got to go the coastal route, but even so, that can't be more than about 3 miles away. Blimey. Alright, well, you know, more coast to do first. And if I don't miss my guess, there's a down and up coming. So we'll see. Ah, it's good though. It's amazing out here. So windswept. Professionally so, I guess. Dunno. Yeah, I missed it. Jet fighters going around the last couple of days. Oops, zoom. Yeah. I think coming from Culdrose, which I think is a Royal Navy airbase somewhere just south of Helston. Seen that before. I see them going around and zooming about, flying around over the last day or two. Usually too quickly for me to get the camera out, as we just saw. Black plane with white bits on. I guess that's probably like training plane colours, I guess. Doing big old zooming loops and circuits. Saw a pair of them go past on the north coast. Yeah. You'd have thought the RAF would have the monopoly on planes, but I suppose it helps the Navy to have their own aircraft and stuff. Aircraft carriers and the like. Sea rescue helicopters. Yeah. So a bit of a down the nut there, although this is quite a tame one considering compared to a lot of what I've seen already. Up onto that top headland and then all the way around. It looks like a big jagged cliff with no down the nuts on there. Just all the way along the top, so that would get some good mileage in, and who knows what we'll see from beyond. So Conan's Cove is somewhere out there, and after that probably the end. So yeah, keep moving. There's a distant figure on yonder hilltop heading away, so people on the trail, but this must be a bit of a remote stretch that only hardened adventurers like my good self bother with today. Wow, that wind's really going for it with a vengeance now. However, this looks like my final vista. So that down there is Conan's Cove, that big old collection of rocks, I think. See a car park twinkling in the distance and path and things. Should have seen this on postcards or maps or tea towels or something. The name sounds very familiar. From another context though, don't know, weird. That on the end, presumably some sort of lighthouse and or hotel on the far side of Lizard Point. I imagine Lizard Point itself is that bit of rock sticking out on the end there. Or just around the other side of. So yeah, so about 2 miles, 2, 3, something like that. Somewhere up in Lizard itself is a campsite, which I hope I'm not going to have any problems with. Failing that, I'm just going to go for any old B&B that's got room, to be honest, because at that point I'll be done. I'm off duty, out of contract, do what the hell I like. I mean, could get a bus into the mainland up to Helston and back to Penzance, but I think it's too late for me to get a train back from Penzance to where I live anyway today, so whatever happens I'll have to stay somewhere around here. That's alright, yeah, we'll try the campsite in Lizard. Anyway, that's planning a bit too far ahead. I've still got some quite jagged terrain to get through, a bit of distance, and this wind really is like almost the strongest I felt all trip. I think this headland here has been blocking this wind from molesting me for the last 2 days, so yeah, it's good. I think I nearly made it. I bet there's an ice cream van in that car park too. That's probably due a Calippo or something. Right, let's push on. Ah, it's going past. Thought we were going to see something loaded then. Disappointing. I bet it plays the Thunderbirds theme when it loads stuff. I mean, it'd be against maritime law not to, I'd imagine. You'd probably be able to hear it from here. Well, farewell, Boca Vanguard. I probably shan't see you anymore. I imagine you'll be gone by September. Quite a descent. Quite an ascent. The picnic tables. I think it'd be rude not to stop in, really, wouldn't it? Do it a sit down anyway. I've got enough to keep going to the end, but not much further. Yeah, there it is. Alright, let's just get down here without killing myself. That's quite poignant, quite sad. I mean, well, I'm, inferring. And came this far from Poole on the SWCP, and Jill and John carry on in her memory. I'm assuming she died. This far. Wow. It's not even a stop, really. I mean, Lizard Point's about another 3 miles, well, another mile and a half, I think. I hope it wasn't something medical on the trail. Well, I hope Alan, Jill and John managed to finish in her memory. They're obviously doing the retrograde route from Poole, going the other way, going that way. Still a lot of hard work to go. Yeah. Well, I'm still going anyway. That was Conan's Cove. A bit touristy for my liking, but then who isn't a tourist? I'm a tourist, just of a different sort. Slightly higher breaking point. Yeah, I tell you who isn't a tourist, the woman in the shop who refused to make good on the foreign lady who didn't understand the difference between tea and a cream tea, because bloody hell, why would you? What, that's obtuse. I didn't want all of this, she says, pointing at the scones and clotted cream and things. But, oh, you order cream tea. Refusing to budge. British hospitality at its best. I didn't have the language skills, or I'd have intervened. Right, so yes, not much between me and the end now. Apart from, a few hills, a few ups and downs. Hardly a molehill, look at that. And, yeah, not much between me and the end now, apart from grit, determination and sheer ruddy gumption, which I think I've got enough left of. So yeah, literally up and onto that headland on the end, round and down a bit, and ta-da! So I'm going to crack on and do it. I shall probably speak to you then with some kind of thought for the day, summary, rounding up. There we go. So that's about 5 o'clock on Thursday, and here we are, Lizard Point. Job done, mission complete, all that. I'm very pleased with my progress. So I got to the lizard. The lizard turned out to be a sham. It turned out the real treasure was the friendships we made along the way, which was balls. Still very pleased to have done it. So this is about halfway now, halfway in weeks. Week 4 out of 8 finished, and also about halfway in distance as well. This is 300 miles under the belt, 340 to go. The remaining week sections are slightly longer, but I'm anticipating easier terrain, less up and down, less hills. I'm anticipating a milder climate as well. Quite windy here still, as you can see, probably here. Try and cover the mic a bit. But so yeah, wind I think's been the theme for this week. It's been a 16 to 20 mile an hour from the east, pretty much the entire time, which is a bit odd because I always thought it was westerlies around here. It's been good though. There's lots of interesting things. It's quite a hard week, quite hard, quite hard going on their feet. I mean, not as up and downy as the Bude, Heartland Key sort of end, but certainly a lot more jagged, jumbled terrain, all that. Yeah. I've seen some things, a lot of interesting things scattered along this bit of coast. Quite an interesting touristy area, although I'm not sure I'd recommend walking all around the entire thing. Perhaps drive down and visit some places. Maybe do a day stretch or two, I don't know, whatever. I got this weird odyssey going on, so there we go. So, my hat string keeps bumping the microphone. It's probably not going to help. I'm going to get told off by John in post. So yeah, thanks for keeping me company and stopping me going insane. Thanks for watching and all that, and I shall probably see you back here in September, where we're going to go from here to Parr near St Austell, along the south coast, which is a more milder region of wooded shorelands and river estuaries, and I've got a whole load of getting boat timetables right and making sure I turn up at the right time and have the right kind of money to work out, so that'll be challenging. Till then, unless I do something crazy over summer, see you then. Bye bye. So 4 months to kill. Dumpty dumpty dum, dumpty 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 dum. I spy with my little eye